Hi, this is Tollabird off Webtoon Canvas. I'm going to be reading Stairs and Stairs by Soryu Beans and then talking about it a bit afterwards. I'm actually only reading the first chapter, and it's a fun one. It's worth reading. Cute potential romance element, well, I guess definite romance elements since it's tagged as romance. A little bit introspective, nice school setting, and let me scroll to the top. So I'll start with the read and then I will talk a little bit about it. I always hear people say having a beautiful face is a blessing. You get to have pretty privilege. It's when a person gets a societal advantage and preferential treatment for being conventionally attractive. The more attractive you are, the more benefits you get. Some people don't even have to do anything. Oh no, a flat tire! Who will save me? Leave it to me! Yay! Others will gladly help them. Click. Step. Step. It's a completely unearned advantage. There's rice in the rice cooker, given just for having a beautiful appearance. On the other side of that, you should show your face more when my friends come over. It's being objectified. Miria, you look like a doll. All the unwanted attention. Hey, have you heard? Looks like it's true. Seriously, I'm not surprised. The constant scrutiny. You're such a try-hard in having superficial relationships. Isn't it obvious I'm only with you because of your face? They said it's a blessing to have a pretty face, but for me, you're only good for that. It was nothing but trouble. It was a dream. It's too early. Slip. Pop. So pretty. You transferred a bit late, but with your grades, I'm sure you'll adjust just fine. I hope you can get along with our kids here. Yes, ma'am. I transferred 2 months after class starts. For me, this is a new beginning. Stairs and stairs. Chatter, 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 chatter. All right, everyone. This is our new student, Nari. Introduce yourself. Nice to meet you. My name is Jang Nari. I just moved to the city. I hope we get along. Whoa, so pretty. She's totally my type. Did we use up all our luck this year? Ah, they're whispering. I can hear them, though. Please stop. You can sit over near Seal, over there at the back, near the window. Okay. Pull. Hey, that's Karari, right? Hmm? Oh, yeah. I thought I was the only one. Oh, well, it's amazing. I think I'd actually meet someone who knows Karari in real life. You watch her too? Of course. I'm a big fan. Oh, okay. Sparkles. It's too bright. Why are you shining? So, where were you from? When did you move in? You want to come eat with us? You're so cute. I'm so envious. Thank you. You want to come with us? We'll show you around. Sure. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Kimchi. Kimchi. Over here. You're so slow. I got it. Stop shouting. Not idiot. What an unusual name. Another handsome guy. So, who's gonna wake him up? 'Cause I won't. Snooze. All right, Nari, you need notes for the last 2 months, right? Here are some of the good ones I have. Thank you. It's not complete, though. Let's see who's still here. Ah, Sihil, do you have some notes? What's on? He just slept the whole day? Would he even have any notes? Notes? I don't really take one, though. I knew it. 'Cause I don't need it. He's shining again. You know you're annoying, right? Aha. Question. Jamin, lend them some notes. You take them, right? Sure. It's less than I thought. I'm glad everyone is so kind. Huh? Huh? What? Is he crying? Oh, okay. Well, that was chapter 1. And I am going to give a little bit of commentary here. I think most of the reason I like this comic is the nostalgia. Like, I used to read a lot of school-based dramas, um, back when I was young, before I got married and had kids. It was one of my favorite genres, and so I always have a soft spot for the school life. And this one has some pretty design choices throughout it. Pretty good art. Um, there were a couple things I found confusing. They weren't necessarily bad, but like a lot of the sound effects, and it's probably because I'm reading it aloud, and most people do not read them aloud. But I was just like, oh, they're more telling you what's happening versus the sound of what's happening, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I did that in my comic too, so it just, when reading aloud, I was like, oh, this isn't actually the sound it would make if I just read the word. Another thing was something like this, like she's giving this big inner monologue about, her perspective on pretty privilege, and it's interrupted by both past memories and the real world, I think, except then later it's a dream. So that sequence is a little confusing for me because I wasn't sure whether this, oh, there's rice in the rice cooker is what's happening to her right now, or if it's her dream that there's rice left for her in the rice cooker, and if she's getting rice left for her because she's pretty. Like, that didn't quite make sense to me. But other than that, I really like once it transitions to the school setting, which actually isn't till the very tail end of, chapter 1. In chapter 2 and chapter 3, she's in the school and interacting with all these fun characters, especially this guy. He's one of my favorites just because he's so over the top, and every time she catches him, he's crying. He's just, yeah, it's pretty fun. Some fun dynamics. Between her and the other friends, to the point where I'm not even sure it needed the beginning part with the introspection about pretty privilege, or her waking up and having a dream. Like, it could have just started with her transferring in the school and then sprinkle that introspection in throughout the comic, like as she remembers stuff. However, I also understand it because it's a good hook to show, oh, this poor girl's had a traumatic past. Another thing I like is that she was a fairly complex character so far, because from the introspection you would think, oh, she's worried about pretty privilege, and so maybe she's going to try to, I don't know, make herself look ugly or something like that. But no, then you see her later and she's happy she's pretty. But then later she's upset that people are gossiping that she's pretty. So she has mixed feelings about it herself. And, well, I'm pretty sure everybody has mixed feelings about, looks and stuff like that, and how others treat us based on our looks, for good or ill. And so I thought that was kind of interesting is she could have been very much like, oh, pretty privilege is terrible. I'm just going to try to look plain and not dress up. But no, here she is, first day of school. She's trying to look as pretty as she can. And then she immediately gets annoyed when everyone's just commenting that she's pretty. So I thought that was fun. Another fun thing before I run out of time, let's see if it's here, is this was actually probably the panel where I ended up deciding I liked this comic. Was here you have these beautiful cherry petals flowing in the breeze as she's talking to this teacher lady, and then the petal hits her on the nose. And I just thought it was such a fun detail because I thought the cherry petals were literally a background element, like, oh, school, autumn, they're actually interacting with the characters. And then I just loved her expression as the petals are flying. And later she interacts, or at least comments on a couple other background panels, like, oh, he's shiny, or what are these sparkles, which just added kind of a subtle element of humor throughout the drama that I liked. It's not going to be like a laugh out loud funny, but it's going to have those funny moments, which I definitely appreciate in any sort of school romance drama. So do check it out. It's called Stairs and Stairs.